This afternoon we're going to demonstrate the setup of the CMAC video laryngoscope. And it's a very simple system to use. We have just a couple of devices that plug into the monitor. It's on a rolling cart, so it's very easy and very mobile. If for some reason you needed to go somewhere in the hospital and take it with you, this bracket just unscrews and you can take it off and run with it if you needed to. You know, if you didn't have to, if you had to get on an elevator or what have you. So I'm just going to screw this back on. Okay, so this is the monitor that you'll actually see your image of the laryngoscope when you're going to do your difficult airway, if you encounter a difficult airway. And we have a couple of different blades that you can choose from. We have a Mac 3 and we have a Mac 4. And these blades only connect to one device, and that's the electronics module, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And the only other device that plugs into the monitor along with the electronics module is power. This monitor will run on 2 hours on a full charge, and it will go on standby as well if it were to be left on. It will shut down kind of like a normal computer at home if you leave it. So there's only two inputs in the back of the monitor, and everything's color coded to make it easy. So as you can see, the power is actually blue. So there's a blue spot here on our monitor that this is your input, and there's a few arrows that are pointing up, and you'll line up your arrows and just push that right in. Of course, this end would go into your AC, into your wall outlet. And this is the electronics module. This is what drives the image. This is an important piece because it's going to go into the laryngoscope. So this is coded in colored yellow. So this is going to go into the yellow side of our monitor. So once you have all these things put in, you're ready to go. I'll just turn this back around. And probably the most important button of all is the power button, which is right here at the bottom left. Once you turn that on, you're ready to go and ready to insert your electronics module into either of the blades that you deem necessary. Of course, I guess it would depend on the patient which blade you choose. But there's a track. Probably can't see it too well in this video, but there's a track inside. This module with the buttons facing out, you're going to kind of line it up. So now I'm actually in the track, and you're going to push. So you can't really, so you get some resistance, and then you're gonna, with a little force, you're just gonna give it an extra push, and you're in. And you'll know you're in because the light's on, as you can see. The blade has a 60-degree angle of view, so it's giving you an around-the-corner look, and great for difficult airways. At this point, you're ready to go. You're ready to use the system with, on the patient. You can use an existing stylet. You can shape your tube however you normally would. And I don't know how well
I'm going to come down on it.
This is coming through.
Perfect.
I'm going to move the patient's tongue here. I'm going to place the blade into the vallecula, and there you can see under direct laryngoscopy I can see a little bit. This mannequin's okay, he's not too difficult, and I have a good view there as well. So at this point you would actually use the inside edge here of your blade and slide your tube down. As an added feature to the system, there are a couple of buttons on the electronics module. The red button is record. You can stop and start recording if for some reason you wanted to record an intubation. And the button just below it is a picture of a camera, and you can take a still image of the intubation to confirm tube placement if you so desire, and if you wanted to attach something to an electronic medical record, you could. And where does that appear? At the top of our monitor here is a SD memory card, and it just pops right in the top. These are obviously very similar or exactly the same as what you find in a digital camera, and you can then bring this to your computer and download as an MPEG and a JPEG for video and still images. And that's it. Now, you're done. What do you do next? Well, the best thing to do to get the blade out, there's a little ledge here at the top and at the bottom, and just put your thumbs in the desired location and just push up and the module will pop out. If you're using a blade, Mac 3, and you find that you need a little extra, and you need a larger blade, of course you can switch between the two blades very simply by popping it out and sliding it in. So that's the CMAC from Carl Stores, and thank you very much.
So I have a quick question. Inevitably what happens is batteries run out.
Yeah.
So are the batteries going to be kept in the back window like the other batteries are?
This has an internal battery, so the power supply has an AC adapter, and right now it has a full charge because you can see where it's at.
Hang on, let me see. Go ahead and show us a full charge.
Okay, so the question was, how do you know how much battery life is left in the monitor? At the when the screen is on, there's a little tools button here. It looks like a wrench, and you'll see the battery life. And right now it's at 100% because the bar is full. It'll diminish as the battery wears down. So you have a full 2 hours of battery life.
Okay.
So when you're going to, I recommend that you have this plugged into the wall when the unit is not in use, so you know that you're always giving it a charge. However, it will shut down. I think, as I mentioned earlier, after 20 minutes it will go into a standby mode. So there's an internal battery in here that gives you a full 2-hour charge. There's no batteries inside to change. You always just want to make sure that you have this plugged in when the unit is not in use.
And where do we keep this, Noreen?
We were keeping it in the room too.
Okay.